Hi, my friends. I'm Lars. I'm the drummer in Metallica.
And I'm Robert T. And I'm the bass player, and sometimes I play percussion, and sometimes I sing backups, and I do acrobatic moves on stage, special effects type stuff.
All of that for no extra charge. It's amazing. Felt proud, felt relieved, felt a sense of accomplishment. It was leading up to the finishing of that record was the first time in Metallica's history where there was some things brewing under the surface that were not quite right. So there were some things within the band that needed to be dealt with, some things that needed to be ironed out and so on. And then, in the wake of Jason Newsted leaving the band and James Hetfield going to rehab and so on. So there certainly were a couple of speed bumps in the road there, and maybe even at that point where there was a question about the future of the band. So when Saint Anger was finished, there was certainly a sense of not just relief, but pride in the fact that we could pull ourselves together from those darker moments and make what we felt was the strongest record that we were capable of at the time. It wasn't so much, it wasn't necessarily something we were chasing as much as we wanted to avoid certain other things. We felt that a couple of the last records up through the 90s were overproduced and were a little bit desensitized and a little bit sterile, that we had kind of overproduced all the life out of it. So we were very conscious to try and make a record that was as raw and as pure as possible, and as kind of as unaffected by kind of production techniques and cleanups and making everything right and putting vocals in tune and all this kind of stuff. So we really felt we wanted to, all of us, to kind of capture the rawest thing possible of 4 people playing in a room, and I'd like to think that we did that.
You did.
It's a very raw record. I think it gets complicated for me when it gets into this thing about best and better and all this type of stuff. I mean, I think that we're quite capable of capturing a bunch of different moods and a bunch of different things at any given time. When you've been making records for 20 years, especially the way we've been making records, which is that we're very much kind of in charge of our own thing and in charge of our own destiny and in charge of kind of, we're very hands-on, full-on. It's not like we're just these puppets in the studio from some producer. So we're without patting ourselves on the back too much, we're quite good at sort of anything in the studio. It just becomes a matter of kind of figuring out where your head is at the time. And we just felt it was important for us to make a record that was raw and pure and kind of underproduced and that captured some different energies than what we've done before. It's not so much better or worse, I think. It's also just kind of where your head is at. And I think, if you look at music and records and being in a band is almost like as a journey, or it's like a lot of times the places you end up on that journey are a result of where else you visited on that journey. So, part of the reason this record is like it is because we felt that some of the stuff in the last couple of years was starting to get a little easy and a little safe and so on. So we sort of have a tendency to challenge ourselves quite a bit and try and just keep it always sitting in a different place. I don't know. Kirk and James do a little more than I do. I've never been too concerned about that. I think that they're two separate entities, and you should always try and do the best that you can. You make the best records that you can with the material and the tools and the options that you have in the studio. And when you're live, you try and do the best you can live with what materials and choices and options you got there. Sometimes, you get into this conversation in the studio where it's like, how are we going to reproduce that live? And I don't like it when it goes down that path because I don't want an idea to be squashed in the studio because concerns about reproducing it live. So I like to think that they're two separate entities.
Well, I felt privileged and honored because, obviously I love what Metallica's done, and I was a little bit nervous, but in a good way. I was just excited about playing, Master of Puppets with these guys.
That's it. Not
was
any
it.
of the other songs.
Like, just let me play Master of Puppets and then I'll go home. That's all I ask. Just that song. And then
Excuse me, my friends.
See? He's
I'm
so
just having
excited.
such a good time.
I know, it's great.
Actually, tonight we're going to play Master of Puppets 12 times in a row.
Absolutely.
Just for Rob. We're going to play it from
backwards,
front to
too.
backwards. We're going to play it sideways. We're going to play it upside down.
The remix version.
Right?
Yeah.
There's actually at one moment where James Hetfield's going to sing it in Japanese for it. It's going to be big.
That's true, that's true. Japanese words?
Sapporo? Good answer, huh? Number one, the city. Number two, the beer.
That's great. Bow wow.
Bow Wow. Kiyoshi Yamamoto. I don't know, what else? Favorite Japanese word? The only one I know is, the only one I know that I can say on television is domo arigato, or at least if it's a family show.
Oi jashine. Is that right? How do you say it? Oi jashine.
This is like, here's what happened with this shirt, because I get asked a lot of times, do you wear the same shirt every day? Well, here's what happened was when we played the Bowery Bar in August, they gave us one for each band member. Well, I took all four of them. So I have four of this shirt, and it's about the most comfortable shirt that I've worn in years. It's not so much about what it says. It's about how comfortable it is. So I have four of these. And actually, one of them belongs to Rob.
That's probably mine. And this shirt I slept in, actually. I wore this out last night, and I slept in it, and I'm wearing it right now.
Let me confirm that. Yes, he slept in it.
I like to be comfortable. Sweats are comfortable. I just comfortable. I don't care what.
Look, not even my shoes are black. It's gray. Okay, I got a black sock. And I'll give you an
That's because he's European.
Okay, I'll give you an exclusive, okay? Black underwear, okay?
I got black underwear too. That's all that matters.
Alright, there you go. So there are some bits that are black. But today, it's more of a blue day. No, not special diets. I try and run about every day. If not, about 5 or 6 days a week to get the old running thing going. And I try and do warm-ups and stretches. And at my age, which is about 100, you just try and be a little more kind of respectful to the arm and a little more on top of, especially the preparation for the show. Do a lot of stretching and a lot of kind of warm-ups and so on. And other than that, it's like once you get up on stage, feel all that from all the people. It sort of just takes care of itself. So it's all good. I just try and generally run. I love running, getting away from everything, getting away from the phones. It's like solitude. And by the way, I run. I don't jog. You can translate that. And I got yelled at by a guard over at the Imperial Palace 2 days ago for running on a piece of gravel. He was on a gravel area. So I'm sorry if he's watching. I'm sorry. Wasn't meant anything bad. I'll just say hi to our friends in Sapporo, and it's really nice to be here. This is our 6th time in Japan, and our first time here in Sapporo. So it's nice to come and visit you and see a new place. We had a very nice drive-in from the airport. It looks lovely up here. Obviously, it's quite different from Tokyo and further south. So it's nice to be here, and we look forward to playing for you tonight, and we hope to come back again and see you soon. He seconds all that, by the way. All right, bye-bye.